of Majesty Christian Television Network. We are very sorry for uh, not starting this on time. We've had a series of, what do I call it? Uh, Break in, we've had shortage in the transmission because of power failure. But somehow along the line, I think we are connected again. So we apologize for every inconvenience and we hope that you will enjoy this broadcast with us. Today we want to talk on cryptocurrency. What is it and how it is likely to affect you and me? So we have one of our own who is a Nigerian based in Georgia, who is also in the financial industry, and he is very versatile with this very topic. So we've invited him to come and throw more light on what cryptocurrency is all about, because from the layman's perspective, many of us do not know what it is, and we would like to know. So on the basis of this, we have a professional who have availed himself today to be a blessing. So help me welcome to Majesty Christian Television Network, Mr. Samuel Ogunkoya. Samuel, please welcome to Majesty TV.
Thank you. Thank you.
Right. So tell us a little bit of who you are.
Well, as you said, my name is Samuel, and my family name is Ogunkoya. I'm from the western part of Nigeria,
Yeah.
basically in Lagos, and I've been in the financial market for a while now.
Yeah. So that means you are very conversant with this digital currency.
Yes, yes. I've been aware of digital currencies and other assets as well.
All right. So from 2017, this cryptocurrency came like a storm to the world, and we have seen that people are really doing, business owners are doing a lot with this new currency. So we would like you to explain to our viewers in a very simple term what cryptocurrency is all about.
All right. To be exact, cryptocurrency has been in the market since 2009, and it came with the emergence of Bitcoin. But to give a clear understanding of what cryptocurrency is, it simply means the combination of cryptography and digital currency, which is, for example, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ripples, and other kind of cryptocurrencies you have around. But what makes cryptocurrency much more acceptable among others is that it works with the technology we understand as cryptography technology, which includes blockchain technology and every other kind of forms, which we'll understand later on. But the digital currency itself is just a byproduct of the technology. What is most important is the technology that is backing the currency as it is.
Okay, so what you are saying to us, if I would recap, is that this currency had been in existence since 2009,
Yes, since
and then
2000.
you said it's a combination of cryptography and digital currency.
Yes.
Is that what you said?
Yes, that's exactly what I said.
Okay, and then you made mention of blockchain. What is that?
Well, uh, blockchain is the technology under cryptography. And that's exactly the technology used to create currencies like Bitcoin,
Bitcoin, yes.
Ripple, Litecoin, Dashcoin, and every other coin you have. At the moment, we have over 1,000 kind of coin, digital coin in the market. But Bitcoin is the best or the most popular currency that everyone is, using to trade and used to make some kind of trading in the market. at this
Do we
moment.
have, please, do we have any of these your coins you've just mentioned being used in Niger?
Well, as I'm aware, Nigerians are very, very aware and they've been using Bitcoin. But from where I'm from, there's been the use of Ethereum, Litecoin, Dashcoin, Ripple as well, which also I'm an investor on at this moment.
Wow. So, who invented this cryptocurrency, and for what purpose do they invent it?
Well, the inventor of cryptocurrency is some national from United States, and it's been in existence as a practical form of, verifying online cryptography. It wasn't intended to use as a currency, but Satoshi Nakamoto, that's the inventor of Bitcoin, used it as part of his program for the digital currency we all know as Bitcoin at the moment. And from then it took its effect, and from that particular moment, a lot of other currencies have been digital currencies have adopted this kind of technology itself to produce different kind of currencies like Dashcoin, Bitcoin to help in the transition of trade and services in online market.
This is really high tech, my dear. It's very high tech. So, to the rural woman who is there selling all of this, do they have the opportunity of using this currency?
Yes, yes,
Because it is more digital. It's a digital currency.
it
So,
is.
if it is digital, so it's not something like we can carry, we can touch, we can feel.
Well,
Explain to me, my dear. Explain to me. Use me as a lay woman to explain to those who are listening to all of us.
all right. I wouldn't want to go into the technical part of cryptography, but I would explain clearly what a blockchain is.
Okay.
Blockchain is the technology, like I said earlier, that enables us to use cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin. So, for example,
Both of up here.
um, how it works is I would explain from the layman's view. Let's say with our current
So
currency,
when we appear.
like the naira we use in Nigeria, for instance, is backed by the central bank
Yeah.
of Nigeria, and it's produced in different multiple numbers or denominations. But what the cryptocurrency brings into the market is something different. For Naira, it can be produced only by the Nigerian government, and it's also backed by the government and also the banks, which means they have what we call a closed ledger. Now,
Okay.
for you to understand better, what a closed ledger means, um, the transactions made by individuals into trade, that is, for those buying and selling and saving money in the banks, these ledgers are saved by the banks and kept by the banks,
Okay.
which means it's not open to the public. So for instance, let's say you keep your money in the market, in the bank. Let's say you save 1,000 naira in the bank. This amount is actually saved in the bank, and it's in the bank's ledger, which is not open to the general market. So if the bank wants to, let's say for instance, claim bankruptcy, which
Yeah.
means they will tell you that their services are no more rendered and they've run out of loss, there is a chance whereby the bank takes these funds, this money you've kept in the bank, and you lose the funds totally because
Yeah.
of this closed ledger system. So only the bank has the accessibility to those who have money in the bank and those who don't have money in the bank. But what cryptocurrency brings into the market is totally different. It helps us, including you and myself, to know who is having money and who doesn't have. So what we have is an open ledger system
Okay.
whereby the transactions of trading, selling goods and services is not dependent on a banking system, but dependent on those in the network system of cryptography, whereby if I own a Bitcoin or I own a dollar, or I own a naira, anybody in that particular system where I am is also informed about the amount of money I have and about the amount of transactions I can do in a particular market, if you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. So, in other words, things are no more, things are more open, and it's like people don't have privacy anymore. Is that?
Yes, yes. Now,
But
what you should
is it
understand,
not dangerous?
it's not dangerous. What you should understand is, for instance, in Nigeria, for example, you can see corruption is part of the things that is ongoing in Nigeria, and those close to making corruption an important thing in Nigeria are those that are close to the banks. So it's easier for the banks to um, make some fraudulent or changes to particular documents in the banks that we as laymen or normal citizens cannot easily have an access to. But this is exactly what the Bitcoin or the cryptography comes against. It enables everyone in the market, as in an open network, to be able to view this open ledger system. But before we talk about open ledger system, we should be able to understand what money is used for. Money is basically used for trading, that is exchanging of goods and services for an amount of value. This is exactly the same thing that happens in the market, whereby everyone exchange goods and services for something. But this record is kept by the banks, and it's recorded only in a central system. And this central system is controlled by the organizations of a particular country, like let's say the banks or the government itself. But what cryptography brings into play is that every individual that is involved in this kind of transaction will have this ledger system. So it's no more closed. So every transaction is open to everyone in the system, whereby you, myself, and even the market woman in the village can
Yeah.
easily access this information, whereby she knows what I have, what you have, and what is the total value of what I can give to her in return for what she can give.
Awesome. Awesome. Now, there's a question. Somebody watching us through the Facebook. Let me read the question, and then you may give an answer. It say, how is the Bitcoin in the market now? This is coming from Deacon Osayende.
Okay, how is Bitcoin in the market now? Is that the question?
Yeah, that's the question.
Well, the current value of Bitcoin is around $8,000. That's the current value of Bitcoin. But in the previous years, previous months, it went as high as $17,000 per one Bitcoin. Well, the current situation, like I said, in the Bitcoin is around 8,000. That's the current value of Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is still the most populous cryptocurrency in the market, and it's still very valuable to those that know its value in terms of exchange or in terms of an asset.
Okay. Another question is, it says, is it accessible by those you have transactions with?
Yes, yes, it's a liquid system whereby everyone that transacts in a cryptocurrency market receives whatever he buys or whatever he returns in terms of value. So yes, it's accessible to everyone in the system.
So, how many are out there now? And what
Well,
are their what? Do you
well,
have
the,
any idea?
well, the current worth of Bitcoin at the moment is $8,000 per one Bitcoin, and
Wow.
the estimated value of the total amount of Bitcoin in the market will be 21 million. And this is a good thing. It causes what we call demand and supply of a particular product. So the maximum amount of Bitcoin that will be available in the market will be 21 million, which means when it reaches that number, the total population of the world is more than that amount, or is more than 21 million, which means there will be demand for it. And when there is demand for something that cannot go wrong, there will be higher value on that particular asset, which means the price will eventually skyrocket in due
Yes.
time.
Wow. So 8,000 US dollar is equivalent to one Bitcoin.
At this moment. But the exact value at this moment is a drop from the previous value. The previous value was up to 17, $18,000.
So those who do not have up to that amount, how are they supposed to trade?
Well, for Bitcoin, it's as a currency, it's divisible, which means you can buy a small portion of it. You don't need to buy a full Bitcoin. It's just like a gold. I mean, buying a ton of gold. You don't have to really buy a ton of gold. You can own a few kilograms, which means you can buy a small portion of Bitcoin, even for as low as $1, depending on the amount you have. But it's equivalent to the total amount of money you can give for the product. So if you want to buy $1 worth of Bitcoin, you will get the same value for that as well.
Do you have any idea why they are so popular then?
Question about that. As I said earlier, cryptocurrency can be grouped into two groups. It's not just a group. It's the combination of cryptography
Yeah.
and digital currency. For example, Bitcoin. So cryptography is the first thing you need to learn about before you understand the value of the currency that is attached to such currency.
Yes.
So, for example, we talk about cryptography, we talk about blockchain. Blockchain is a technology which helps in helping everyone understand who is transacting and how much value or how much worth the person is. So, for instance, I can have $1 million in the bank right now. That is in Nigeria, maybe in GT Bank, I can have $1 million and I can spend much more than $1 million in Nigeria at this moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm in politics or something, I spend much more, which means I don't really have a million. I have losses eventually because I'm spending more. But in the cryptography market, you cannot do that. You cannot do that. You can only spend what you have. And
Oh.
this helps in curbing what we call corruption. The first thing you need to understand. And I talked about the ledger system. Uh, what we have right now in Nigeria, for instance, is a closed ledger system whereby
Yes.
the banks control the flow of money and the government also does the same. Then there is also some other set of people like those in government, the political bodies that also control these situations. But this is what cryptography comes against. It creates an open ledger system whereby everyone can see exactly how much the other person is worth. So if you're worth $1 and you're telling me you're worth $5, cryptography will not let that come into play. It will actually make you very obvious as a false individual in the market trying to play bigger than you are. That's the first thing. The second thing is decentralization. With the kind of system we have, we call what we have, this paper money, we call it fiat money. This fiat kind of currency is what the banks create. So the banks can create or print out much more money than they actually have. But with cryptography, it's not possible. You can only create an finite amount of money. Just like in the case of Bitcoin, the maximum amount of money of digital currency that can be created is 21 million. But decentralization also makes it better by making it an open system whereby not just an entity has an access to the creation of money, but it's embodied by the total bodies of people involved in that system. That's another thing. So for instance, when I say an open ledger system, it means if we are about 100 people in this particular system of cryptography, each and every one of us will have an access to this ledger. So if on my ledger it says you're having $100, it will say the same thing on every other ledgers of those people represented on that particular network. So if I try to change, for instance, the value of my work on my own ledger, it will be refused by other ledgers on the same network. So this
Hmm.
is another thing that should be considered, because with the current system we have, it's very easy for the central bank to change a particular figure of a
Yeah.
particular individual, and there will be no way to access that. But in the cryptography network, it's not easy. If
Exactly.
I change my value, for instance,
Yeah.
it cannot be changed by every other person owning the same ledger in the system. So this comes out what we call corruption or fraud.
Exactly. I think it's very, very good for the African continent.
Yes, yes,
It is very,
it's
very good
one.
if only we will adopt to this. I think
Well,
it is going to really, really bring corruption to a minimal.
of
People
course,
wouldn't be able to do some of these things they've been doing and going scot free with them.
of course, of course.
But I have questions. Somebody is asking you question on the Facebook. He says, why is cryptocurrency regarded as a future currency? May we hear from you?
Yes, yes, I'm speaking. Can you hear me?
Yes. He said, why is it regarded as a future currency?
Well, it's the way forward. It's the next step, because the current system we have, like I said earlier, is not an open ledger system whereby everyone can view it, and this is why there is a lot of distrust in the system, whereby people don't trust the banks, or whereby organizations don't trust the government. But with the level of cryptography and also blockchain, it's the future, because instead of us asking the government to open the ledgers,
Yeah.
we have the ledgers. We have the right. We have the power. We can actually see what exactly the situation is. If the central bank or the government is saying I spent $1 billion, and in the ledger it says they spent $120,
Yeah.
it shows eventually, because they cannot change all the ledgers in the hands of everyone. But at this moment, they can actually change the ledgers with the government or
Yeah.
with the banks.
So, with all of these explanations, I am thinking the government's reaction to cryptocurrency will be very negative.
Yes, it's not only the government in Africa, it's the government in the whole wide world, because
Why
it's
then?
what we call a change of status. All right. It's like when you're a beggar and you're getting funds from a rich man, and you eventually become a rich man. The rich man will not want you to stand by his side, because he wants to always be on the giving side and always getting the funds from wherever it's getting from. So this
Yeah.
is the same situation in the market. The banks will go against it,
Yes,
because
I think so.
for the banks, it's better for them to have the access to this ledger system whereby they control the funds. This is one reason why the banks can easily go into bankruptcy. Now let's
Exactly, because they've done it in many banks in Nigeria. I've banked with so many this, and then they went bankruptcy, and then I couldn't get back my money.
good. This is one reason why cryptography is a very good technology that should be
Yes.
applied. For instance, look at it this way. If you have, let's say you worked all your life to save your funds in the bank, or you have some insurance system and you saved all your life into those systems, and eventually they claim bankruptcy. You cannot view the ledger system they have. And ledger, when I keep saying ledger, simply means the records they have of the trading activities that occurred in a particular system. So maybe
Mm.
you buy from me, or I buy from you, or I save money. But if the system claims bankruptcy, yeah, it simply means they don't have enough money, or they don't have
Yes.
more money to give. But in reality, when bankruptcy is filed, people become rich. And who are the people that become wealthy? These are the owners of the banks. But this is exactly what
Oh,
cryptography fights for.
then that's
Cryptography
deception.
actually shows the defect in the systems, whereby if you claim bankruptcy and you have money, there is no way you can be bankrupt.
Yeah,
So if I have the ledger with me and you have the ledger and everybody in Nigeria is having the same ledger to the system, there is no way you can defraud the system. Because if you
exactly.
claim you don't have money, it will show on my system or any
That you
other
have.
person's system that
Yes.
there is money in the system.
Somewhere. Yes.
Yes. So the banks don't want this because of the closed ledger system. With the banks, it's easier and it's better for them because they can easily falsify informations and try to steal funds out of the system.
Yeah. So if that be the case, the government will not support it, and then the bankers, they are not ready for it. So who are the people now who must push forward this cryptocurrency? Because for me, I think I like it. So how would
Okay.
somebody buy it?
Well, to buy, there are different channels to buy. There are various networking systems, but before you buy, you must have to create an account, which is very important, and have a wallet. A wallet is a digital kind of wallet you carry about where you can keep different kind of currencies, be it Bitcoin, Litecoin, Dashcoin. For instance, I have a wallet of my own whereby I keep those kind of currencies. And after getting the wallet, you must be able to exchange real money, which is what we call in the market fiat money, to get these digital currencies to be able to purchase as well. But like I said, the first step is to create an account, have an e-wallet to be able to exchange these cryptocurrencies to the kind of value you want as well.
Do they have counterfeit cryptocurrency?
Well, that's the question everybody asks. Well, this is a world whereby you would have different kind of people, both real and fake. I would say there are different kind of cryptocurrencies, and before you invest in anyone, you should do your due diligence. And that means you should make your research. But the
Uh,
best advice I give to my clients is that they should go for what is generally acceptable. And now, when we look at that, you see, if I tell you something, for instance, I say, if I have $1 with me that I want to give to you, or I
yeah.
have maybe Somalian currency, which would you prefer? You would prefer the dollar.
Yes.
And the same thing stands for in exchange of commodities, let's say like gold. If I say I want to exchange gold with you, I want to exchange some metal which you don't know, you will prefer the gold. Because one, it's liquid, which means you can easily exchange it for value, and at the same time, it's generally acceptable. So
Yes.
if you're going into the crypto market, it's the same thing you have to look into. You have to go for what is generally acceptable. Something you know you can buy and easily exchange so that you don't find yourself stranded. Because
Deceived. Yes.
even in reality, whereby people want to exchange currencies for something, there are some people creating these kind of coins for just their personal benefit.
Really.
Yes.
So how can one be protected?
Well, the protection of the system, like I said, is based on the cryptography. So the first thing which you need to understand is the system or the technology involved. With cryptography comes blockchain, and blockchain is an effective way of categorizing the kind of digital currency you buy. So, for instance, to give you a bit, an example of what blockchain is, it simply means I create a chain of transactions I try to do. For instance, if I'm trying to send money to you, to someone in Asia, to Germany, this chain of transactions is recorded. But the best part is it's not just recorded only in my own portfolio, but it's registered on your portfolio and everyone's portfolio in the network. And this brings the security of the system. So if you want to buy, let's say, cryptocurrency, I would advise that the best cryptocurrency you should buy should be cryptocurrency under the technology of the blockchain technology, because Bitcoin is one of those currency under that. The same thing stands for Ripple, same thing stands for Ethereum, Dashcoin, and Litecoin as well.
Should somebody not willing to have this open ledger system, what other alternative can be given to such a person?
Well, once you have a wallet, you
Wallet,
are
yes.
entitled to have this open ledger system, but there are people that don't really need to verify this open ledger system. Those that really do have to verify this open ledger system are the miners, and the miners are those that actually authenticate transactions and also get a reward for it. So if your case is just for you to get the cryptocurrency and exchange it for value, then it's fine. It means you don't want to go in depth into that. But for those that really want to go in depth, maybe get some value for their time or for their services or for the amount of electricity spent, then yes, miners can fall into that pace. But if you're not really concerned about that, you can actually get the cryptocurrency of your choice and exchange it for the real value you want it to be.
Awesome. Well, those of you who are watching this broadcast is coming live from Majestic Christian Television Network. We are discussing on cryptocurrency, what it is and how it's likely to affect you. So feel free to connect with us on Facebook or on YouTube via Voice of Niger. You may also give us a call on the studio line, which is plus 3120 3374 160. We have one of our own, a Nigerian based in Georgia, Samuel Ogunkoya, who is in the financial industry, an expert in this field, is our guest today. So please take the opportunity to give a call and then hear from the horse's mouth what cryptocurrency is all about and how you can, and the future of this currency to our own continent. Now, there's a question here for you, Mr. Samuel. Somebody's asking, what is the difference in buying gold and cryptocurrency?
Well, that's a very good question.
Okay.
Well, gold is known in the financial market as a commodity. It's grouped under the commodities of metals. So cryptocurrency as well is also known as an asset, but it's differential kind of assets. It can be grouped under the group of commodities and at the same time grouped under currencies as well.
Yeah.
But the difference is that gold is physical. It's a metal which you can mine, maybe in South Africa or some other country, but from the soil. But cryptocurrency as it's known is a generalized kind of asset which can be used as a commodity for those that want to keep and hold it. When I say keep and hold, remember it's a term for investors, those that want to buy at a low price and hold it for the long term. For instance, the current price of Bitcoin is around 8,000. The previous price was 17,000. But when you look back some years before now, it was as low as $10.
Yeah.
So it's an asset for those that want to keep it. It's also a currency whereby people use it to trade. But for gold, you should know gold is a metal mined from the soil. It's used as jewelry and can be kept as something of value. But when you evaluate this in the current market, the highest price gold has ever gotten to is about $2,000. And the
Okay.
highest price cryptocurrency has gotten to is around $19,000. And the price of cryptocurrency will increase. This is for one reason, because what cryptocurrency is fighting against is one thing is trust, which is the open ledger system I talked about. Also, it's a decentralization whereby you don't have to depend on your banks or your government or notary systems or accounting. You don't have to depend on that. You have to totally depend on the value of the particular asset you have with you. The third thing is synchronization, whereby everyone is having the exact information about the current transaction in the market. This is what the cryptocurrency talks about. And for miners are those that actually verify information regarding to transactions in the market. So it's not totally dependent on the government anymore or the banks or anyone. So there are two different kind of assets. You can as well own gold
That's two of
and at the same time own cryptocurrency. For gold, it's a physical asset which is not digitalized and can be owned as a jewelry, or you can buy gold at a lower price and sell at a higher price. But the highest price gold has ever gone to is about 2,000, maximum let's say 3,000. And for cryptocurrency, it's an ongoing increase in value asset. So any price you buy it, depending on the kind of cryptocurrency you buy, there is an assurance of impending growth and consistency in the growth as well.
So, thank you so much. Before you sign up, I would like you to tell us how African countries can benefit from this. How can they leverage from this?
Well, my best view is in terms of my also my understanding about African nations. I wouldn't want to talk of African nations because I don't know much about a lot of African nations, but Nigeria in a whole, I think it's going to curb corruption in a way because that's one big problem in Nigeria whereby everyone doesn't trust the government because of the level of corruption in the system. I think with Bitcoin, there will be less fraudulent activities whereby funds are taken from the government purse and spent for personal activities. So with the open ledger system, we'll know who is taking and we'll know how much is left.
Yeah.
This is one particular reason. And the second thing is eliminating third trusted parties. When we talk of third trusted parties, these are banks, the government system, notaries, also accounting individuals. We can eliminate them. We don't need to go to third parties, I mean trusted third parties, whereby we can actually own our own currency, own our own real amount of money, and
Yeah.
don't have to have this fear of decentralization or inflation or deflation in the market. Also, reductions in fees. For instance, if you're transferring funds from Nigeria to, let's say, United States, through a wire transfer, it takes 3 to 5 days, 3 to 5 business days. This is curbed by you having a cryptocurrency. It can be sent instantly to the individual you want to send to, depending on the kind of cryptocurrency you own. Also, reduction in the processing time as well. Like I explained earlier in terms of days, also the time frame it takes to transact this kind of um, transaction can be reduced as well. And this gives much more comfort to those who wants the funds. There is no kind of limit or limitation derived whereby you have to pay someone or bribe someone before you do anything. You can easily just transact your funds without having this kind of embargo placed on you as well.
Awesome. I'm so impressed because you have really convinced me. I think you will convince so many people regarding to this cryptocurrency. May I ask you gently if you do sell this currency, or would you
We
advise? Would you, if somebody want to know more about it, would they call on you?
I have an institution here whereby we help people trade,
Yeah.
not only in cryptocurrency, in general financial market like the stock market, bond market,
Okay.
equity market, CFDs. We do all this because these are the ways whereby people make money by investing. But if there are people that would like to, contact me or try to, get some general information about this, they can as well contact me through my channel. That's my email. That's damilolaogunkoya@yahoo.com.
Yeah.
Or they try to contact me with my phone number plus 995 391 227. They can contact me through that as well. It's not a
What
problem.
about website?
Well, the current website we are creating is dmgcapital.com. That's the
Okay.
website. It's still loading, but we've not yet fully done that. But they can contact probably by Skype as well,
Okay.
through damog223 at yahoo.com. Contact me on Skype. It's an easy channel for everyone, and they can easily get better information or
Yeah.
personal services.
So, in other words, you're authorizing us to give your number to anyone who may be interested to contact you?
It's not the right number for me because I wouldn't prefer someone calling me by night time. I like my
I
sleep
mean, the
time.
WhatsApp number?
Yes, WhatsApp number is okay. They can contact me by WhatsApp. I can easily chat with them, have a discussion with them. Also, give financial advices.
Yeah.
I've been talking with a lot of people for the past 9 years, worked with a lot of companies, and we have huge assets at this moment, around $4 5 million in assets value, but it's not
Wow.
a lot yet. So we're planning to grow higher than
Yes,
that.
exactly. Well, let me read a question from Dickin Osende. I think that he has really picked up interest in this and has been following you on Facebook from the beginning till now. Dickin, thank you so much for spending such a quality time to be with us. So I see because you're also in the financial what do I call it now? The financial industry.
Okay.
I think that's why you are so interested as well, listening to your colleague from Georgia. Um, your question is there any risk involved in Bitcoin? And secondly, you said it will curb money laundering. How true are this? How true is it,
Well,
Mr.
I
Sam?
will give my instances in terms of that. Well, the first question says, what risk?
Yeah.
Well, I would say there is no investment in life without a risk. But when you invest in a particular investment, you should work with intellectuals and also professionals in those kind of investments so that you don't run at a huge risk. But investing in Bitcoin is totally dependent, or cryptocurrency is totally dependent on what we call fundamental and technical analysis, and also money management. It's three basic things we work with. So in your part, there is what we call volatility in the market, which means because of the rate of people investing and because of the rate of transactions and government policies involved, there is what we call volatility, which is expected. That is high volume of trade or high movement of trades. So for you to be able to cover this kind of volatility, you must be able to have clear understanding of both fundamental analysis, which is the news and events in regarding to the particular asset you invest in, and also technical analysis, understanding the current value of the particular assets you're trading with. So if you have this information, I strongly think you can minimize risk and maximize profit. This is exactly what we do. We minimize the risk by following these steps, making sure we invest on a low price and trade to the high price. And when there is a sign from a technical point whereby the price is going to fall below the threshold, we sell. And with the current market, both ways, it's fine because when the price falls, we make money. When the price goes up, we make money still. And also understanding the kind of cryptocurrency involved with. This is one very important information. You should understand the cryptocurrency you're investing in because every cryptocurrency that comes up keeps saying buy, buy, buy. And the real information is not just to buy.
Yeah.
Most of this buy information you find in the market is just for personal means. People want to make themselves rich. And if you want to make money from the market, you should remember what I said earlier, trade or buy currencies that are generally acceptable. That way, you can easily liquidate your assets and get real money back, probably fiat money. And if you want to keep and hold, you should also know what you're investing in. That's fundamental.
Yeah.
You check out the white papers, you understand the company you're investing in, you understand the reason or the basis behind their technology. If it's blockchain, what kind of problems are they trying to solve? Is it problems in regards to time frame? Is it problems in regards to uh, open ledger system? Is it problems in regards to how soon you get the funds? You should understand what problem they're really trying to solve. If this problem is genuine, then there is value in it. If this problem is not, if it's a repetition of what's already in the system, then you should understand it's not for the long term.
Awesome. Well, because of our time, I think uh, we will be bringing the broadcast to we'll be bringing it to an end. We hope to continue with Mr. Samuel probably next week or next 2 weeks because we think he has a lot to really give to us. Well, viewers, on this note, Mr. Samuel, what do you think you would want to say to our viewers before you sign up
Well, what I
regarding the
would say
topic
is,
we've just discussed?
what I
Because
would say
we
is,
have viewers, we have viewers. Look, we have viewers all the way from, even we have Mr. Chuka Ajene. We are sorry you couldn't really come up on time, but he's watching from YouTube all the way from Nigeria. He's supposed to
okay,
be, he was supposed to be part of this discussion. So,
okay,
but because the time was shifted a little bit, so I think he collided with whatever another meeting he was supposed to attend. So I think we would like to put all these financial gurus together, and then we can really grab a lot from you guys, regarding this topic because I believe a lot still have to be um spoken about it. There are so many things you made mention here, and because of time, I couldn't go into details like the blockchain. I still don't know what it is. I hope next time I will be able to pick it up. You made mention of this decentralization. I say, which one is this again? So wallet and wallet in. So all of those your terms, um, they are very very big for lay people. But I think the way you've really tried to bring it down to earth, somebody who is willing to learn will be able to grab something and make use of it.
yeah,
Thank you so much, Mr. Samuel. You've really been a blessing to us,
you're
and
welcome.
we've enjoyed having you today. We hope
Thank
that
you.
your doors will be open for us to have you more and more in these issues regarding financial empowerment.
Amen.
Yeah, we also thank Princess Dr. Joy, who recommended you to us. Thank you so much. And we
You're
hope to
welcome.
have you again and again and again. And that
Thank
is
you.
it for today. So we look forward to having you, and we look forward to our doors are very open. If there are some topics which you think will benefit those in the diaspora in the area of finance, please just forward them to us, and let's see how we can liaise with you to bring this information across to each and every one of us. The more you are sharing, the more you are growing and then getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So that is it. Thank you to all of you who have watched us from UK. We saw people watching us. We saw people watching us from Germany, and people watching us from Nigeria, and somebody watching us from Ukraine and Austria. We thank all of you who have those watching us from Holland. We thank every single one of you. We hope that this has been a blessing. At least when the issue of cryptocurrency is being made mention about, something else about it. Thank you for watching, and tune in again by this time next week. Stay blessed, and we love you. Bye bye for now. Bye, Samuel.